Coach, based on the guys we just talked to, it sounds like you're aware that the SEC is kind of struggled with these games the last few days, and you guys were a couple men down, didn't miss a beat. How important was it to have a performance like this going into the holidays right before league play?
I mean, really important. Obviously, watching the games yesterday, because so many of them were in the afternoon, that we were still able to talk to our team about it face to face. Yesterday, the night before the game, and then even the stuff that happened today. You've got to understand as a student athlete that it's hard to win any game and you have to earn them. And I was really proud of our focus. I mean, we had a couple day prep on Pember and not allowing him to get shot attempts, keeping him off the foul line. Thought we did an unbelievable job on their star player, holding him to 1 of 7 and only allowing him to get to the foul line twice. And he's one of the highest free throw attempt players in the country.
And then Jalen Graham kind of stepped in for you and picked up some of that scoring load without Nick tonight. Just what do you think about the way he was able to kind of respond?
Jalen is he's got a great flip shot. He's got a great spin move. He can feel the defender, go the other way. I thought offensively, I give him a 10 out of 10 offensively. We just need we need some rebounds. Some physical in traffic rebounds is one of the areas that Jalen's got to continue to focus on. But I think from an offensive standpoint, he's a guy you can throw the ball to. He's a great passer. He's really good in the middle of against a zone. And offensively, he makes the game become easier for our team.
Zoom that you guys call him, I don't know if you do, but he said the guys call him spin cycle, Jalen, because of his spin moves. Do you guys call him that in practice, or just what do you think about his spin game?
I don't call him spin cycle.
Okay, what do you call it? Jalen?
Just JG.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or what do you think about his moves and stuff?
Well, I think he does a great job of. First of all, he's got a floater. I said on the radio that the only guy that I've ever coached that has this soft touch that the ball just kind of rolls around the lip of the rim and kind of goes in and is a soft touch as Jamison. Antoine Jamison had the same 8-foot flip floater, feel the defender spin the other way, dip the shoulder, spin the other way. So he's really crafty, with his back to the basket, and he's pretty crafty facing up too with the jab step and go the other way and lift fakes and up and under moves. So he's got a repertoire from an offensive standpoint that's hard to guard one-on-one.
And then he's kind of been hit and miss. Games he has had some good games. He had games he doesn't play or doesn't show up if he's out there. Do you maybe think he can get more consistent?
Well, I think that's his challenge is to give consistency, not just in a game, but consistency in practice. Consistency and getting into the gym on his own, and all those things become really important because he's really skilled. And then obviously, the rebounding becomes extremely important in traffic once we get to the SEC.
And then Nick, the release said out indefinitely. It's kind of management. It was kind of almost verbatim what the release said when he missed those, before the opener. Kind of where do you think you guys are with him, and is it realistic he could play against LSU, or is this just you just got to see what happens? How frustrating is it for him and for you guys?
Yeah, I think Nick is a competitor, and he looked forward to playing for the Razorbacks, and he's kind of been in and out of the lineup or whatever, and we just want him to get healthy as quick as possible, and for him to be 100%, and then for the other guys, it's everybody got an opportunity tonight, and I thought Joseph Pinion did a great job. He stepped up. He knocked down some shots. I thought his experience was really important, playing 19 minutes tonight. I thought that was great for Joseph. And the game, the way it unfolded with Nick not playing and TB not playing, and then Jordan Walsh and Anthony Black getting 2 fouls in the first half, I thought it allowed us to what could happen, in the next couple games for other guys to figure out that maybe we play 3 bigs at a time, and we got to try to figure some of this stuff out on the fly.
was going to ask a follow-up about Nick. The thing that he's dealing with, is it something that he had at the end of the game against Bradley? Is it the same
I'm not
thing?
going to. I mean, he's out indefinitely, and that's what it is. And so there's there's nothing else to he's out indefinitely, and he's going to continue to rehab as best as he can.
And opinion, how difficult is it for a shooter like that to come off the bench late in the first half and knock down shots the way he did tonight?
Well, I mean, when you're a great shooter, and the hardest thing is do you still have confidence? And when he comes in the game, you can kind of see teammates, coaching staff. We feel like when he shoots, it's going to go in, and that's what when you're a great shooter, that's kind of the air that everybody has.
Eric, I think tonight was Game 7 without Nick. I'm just curious, do you feel like the rest of the guys have kind of developed a chemistry to – I don't know if they have maybe a know-how exactly, but do you feel like they've kind of developed a chemistry to play well without him?
I mean, I think this group is obviously we're young, but I think they're really mature. Like, whether a guy gets in foul trouble, whoever's in uniform, I think they've done an excellent job of being ready when called upon. Devo's in the starting lineup. He's used to that. Devo's minutes tonight were incredible. And, so I think that, with whether it's, TB being out or Nick, it's an opportunity for somebody to step in and like I said, I mean, Devo Davis, in my opinion, is a starter, whether he starts or not. Like, he's going to play the minutes. If you look at Devo's minutes the whole year, they're really high because of how hard he plays and what he gives our team. And certainly, when TB was out, somebody got a new opportunity or minutes are available, and Kamani's done a good job in those. And that's just kind of the way it's going to have to be right now is somebody's going to have to step up. I thought Jordan Walsh's second half minutes were great too.
You had the guys had 15 steals tonight, and Kamani and Kai led you with 3. How are those guys able to come up with those numbers? And I just looked at KenPom. Kai's top 50 nationally in steal rate. Like, how are these guys able to do that?
I just think, like, active hands and trying to be disruptive and all those things are, really kind of in our DNA. I think that some of the players like Jordan Walsh he's a high steal player no matter where he plays. I said it when we, recruited him and he committed that he's kind of a violent defender with the way that he jumps passing lanes and so I think we got a lot of guys, but certainly, Makai's hands for his size and his anticipation, you don't see a lot of centers create steals and blocks kind of at the same time.
Coach, I remember after this pre-Christmas game last year, you said it kind of wrapped the first segment of the season the way you look at it. Just with everything going on, the expectations, the newness of the team, the injuries, and the things that you guys have dealt with, I mean, how do you feel about where you're at and the direction you're headed going into SEC play?
Yeah, I mean, I do think that this kind of closes, like a chapter on non-conference. Obviously, we still have Baylor, but I kind of look at that. It's in the middle of conference. It's a really good opponent. So yeah, I mean, we're 3 points away from being undefeated. I thought our schedule was harder this year than it had been in the other years that at least that I've been here. So yeah, I mean, I'm really pleased, but that, like I said, that chapter's kind of over now, and we have to open on the road, and the LSU coaching staff's done a great job. I've been really impressed with the changeover on their roster and how hard they play, and he's brought some of the guys that were with him at his prior program, and they've done a really good job. So I've been impressed with them, and we got to try to figure out how to play well in Baton Rouge. That's our kind of the next and only thought process.
Yeah, Eric, I don't know if I've ever seen a stat like this. Last 2 games, you've outscored your opponents 69-14 on points off turnovers. Do you ever remember doing that to I mean, I know that these aren't Kentucky and Alabama, but they're not bad teams. I mean, I think they're 15-9 combined. I mean, what do you think of that stat?
I just think, I think we've really been, our practices have been, there's been a lot of like drill work on trying to create turnovers. But I do think that just our length, I think Anthony, guarding point guards with his length helps, and Ricky's got great quickness and length, and obviously Devo, in my opinion, is as good as on-ball defender as there is in the nation. And Jordan does a good job. And then as Scotty brought up, like with Makai, I mean, he's a high steal player too at his position. So, but again, I mean, we're gonna when you get into conference play, for the most part, teams take a little bit better care of the ball.
I mean, Walsh was on him quite a bit, and maybe Makai was there. Or who do? I mean, I know it's team defense in the big picture, but who do you credit for really shutting him down? I think he was 1 for 7 or whatever.
Yeah, there was really 3 guys. It started off Jordan Walsh, and then it led to Makai, and then for the bulk of that last 12 minutes of the first half, Kamani did a great job on him. Great job being physical.
And I heard on the radio you're going to San Diego. I guess you're going out early in the morning, get a little Christmas out there.
Hopefully we get out, yeah.
Okay, we'll go. Good luck with that. How good is it to go? I guess you go out to your mom and your other son and all that. How good is it to go? You get a little break. The guys get a little break, and you can enjoy it because you're coming off, pretty good games of late.
Yeah, I mean, tonight was, it was an opportunity for everybody to play. So I think that's a good feeling for everybody. And I again, it's only non-conference, but I do think going into a 3-day break, which is mandatory for the NCAA, I think that it's a good way for these guys to go home and celebrate with their family and holidays. And it's also important that that you mentally get a little bit of a break away as well. So hopefully everybody's in the good mental frame when they come back.
That's one where the guy said, Curtis asked him, and Curtis asked you about what's going on in the SEC, like, Wofford beating Ole Miss or Drake beating Mississippi State, but they said you actually showed him film of those games. And we know that's happened, every freaking night. You go, what? Did that happen? But you guys have avoided that. Well, what's been the key to that? And obviously the guys, focused in when you showed them the film and talked to them about stuff.
Yeah, I think the big thing, Bob, is just having incredible respect for your opponent and understand the fact that every game you have to go earn it and you got to go take the game away. Nobody hands you anything. You got to have great respect for your preparation. And I've never made a team bring scouting reports to the arena, which they had to tonight with notes, and I've never done that before. So I want to try to get better but we did. We gave them the scouting report 2 days ago, and they brought it tonight with notes on it. And